And so tonight, WWE fans all across the universe, we witnessed the end, the tragic death of Kofi Mania. But did we? We may have. Or is this not it? Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here live for my live review of I almost said Monday Night Raw on NXT. I couldn't get the right name across. We are live for my live review of tonight's episode of SmackDown Live from the March 19th, 2019 edition of SmackDown Live that took place in Indianapolis, Indiana. The show SmackDown was a pretty good show tonight, I gotta say. Could have been a little bit better, but I thought we've had a pretty good show. Of course, the ending was very heartbreaking. Get to that, of course, my thoughts momentarily. Had a great opening promo by The Miz. Stuff in between that and the gauntlet match was all right. Could have been a little bit better, but it was what it was. Oh yeah, another match WrestleMania announced tonight. Also, I'll get my thoughts on that as well. Overall, no good effort by the Blue Brand tonight. Of course, we have that ending to talk about. And what does that mean? Is it the end of Kofi Mania? Are we for real not getting it? Well, we'll get to it at the end. I was going to say, my thoughts already, but we'll wait till we get to the end. And then we'll talk about it. So let's get rolling here, guys. Checking the live chat first. We've got Elite Squad saying, Kofi, Kofi, Kofi. The dreams are shattered. We got Mark also. What's going on, Mark? Thank you guys for joining me live. Let's get right into this review and talk about everything except for the gauntlet match. We opened up with The Miz coming out. And The Miz is making his first appearance since he was brutally attacked by now his former tag team partner, Shane McMahon. The best in the world. Miz comes out. Now, of course, let me just reiterate again before I talk about this promo, my thoughts on where this feud has gone. A few months ago, like around Royal Rumble, I kept expressing that I just had no interest in this feud. It's just going to be The Miz, just manipulating Shane McMahon. The Miz would turn on Shane and then eventually lead to this match at WrestleMania with The Miz and Shane McMahon. The shocker, of course, with Shane turning heel, which, again, it happened in The Miz's hometown, which gave The Miz a good reaction. And Shane being a heel, I never had any issues with the exception of the fact, of course, that the McMahon are supposed to be heroes, making the show better for us, and not really happening right now. Now they're making them, be hated, of course, because that makes no sense. Again, that whole storyline should have been just never happened. Just throw it out the window, just like they did already with this. My problem, of course, I had, though, was he's turning heel on The Miz. Is The Miz able to find some way to make him a believable and likable babyface? Because let's face it, guys, the only time Miz has been a babyface was back in 2013. And 2012 and 2013, it just wasn't good. He still came across as arrogant. Like he still felt like a heel. It did not work. Boy, though, did I gain a lot more faith in Mike Mizanin after this promo. So The Miz comes out. He immediately rolls the tape of Shane McMahon's promo last week about why he did what he did. Of course, reiterate, Shane just once again mentioned he's pretty much sick of, people just, lurching off of him just to get up to the next level in their careers and life in general with them. And he's tired of doing things for them. He feels like, he's, doesn't get the recognition he deserves. So he's going to do things for him and do things now his way and not for other people. Which is, of course, why, he did what he did to The Miz at Fastlane. So The Miz, of course, shows that footage. He then says for 10 years, he's been focused on the road to WrestleMania. But at what cost? Through his career, he's taken shortcuts. And besides his wife and daughter, he sacrificed every relationship he's had in this business. And that's what this means to him. That's what his friendship with Shane meant to him. and he gets choked up for a moment before he says he just wanted to make his dad proud of him. And as cheesy as it is, their team made his dad tell him he loves him and is proud of him for the first time. Shane made that happen for him and told him that one of his dreams was to be tag champions. So he did that for him. But people were warning him to watch himself because Shane isn't who he says he is. But they were right, because at Fastlane, Shane attacked from behind in front of his 68-year-old father. His dad watched as Shane decimated him and then put his hands on his own father. And that's something that'll be with him for the rest of his life. Watch his dad get shoved down as he yelled for someone to help his only son. He calls Shane a conniving, vile, disgusting human being, rotten to the core, just like his father. And by his father, they're talking about Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who's even more hated, of course, after tonight. He wasn't born best in the world. B. McMahon was born the worst. Do you think they're special because they're billionaires? Oh, sorry, do they think they're special because they're billionaires and can do what they want? They may own this company, but they don't own him. And they sure as hell don't own Kofi Kingston, which got a huge pop. He wasn't born rich. He was born in Cleveland, destined to flip burgers, and people told him he was average. But he didn't make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. He proved everyone wrong and became a champion. And say what you will, you cannot deny his work ethic. He's always believed hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough. And he's a proven success story. The fans, his dad, none of them gave him love or respect. He had to earn it. And it took 15 years, but he thinks he's earned it. And a "you deserve it" chant starts breaking out for a good minute or two, basically, towards The Miz. And I'm sitting on my couch, not even the stands, and I'm just feeling this left and right. Before I get my thoughts on it, we wrap it up here. Miz saying that he agrees. He says Shane Doe deserves one thing, an ass whooping from him at WrestleMania. Drops the microphone, and he walks out. In 2013, Miz didn't really have much to really back up, him as a babyface. He didn't really have much to really, people take him too seriously. Yes, he had a WWE Championship run, but it was meh. And same with everything else. He just didn't feel like he stood out too much yet. And even myself in general, I was not that big of a fan of Miz at all. Until 2016, when The Miz, won the Intercontinental Championship off of Zack Ryder, which I thought was a joke. And he would go on to having two of the best years of his career by far. Moves to SmackDown last year, feuds with Daniel Bryan. Then, of course, he gets into this whole Best in the World tournament. And then this whole thing with Shane starts up. And again, at first, I'm like, you know what? This just giving Miz something else to do. It's kind of like a downgrade for him and whatnot. But no. The Miz actually had stuff in this story to make us feel for him. And it worked. He admitted that, he's taken shortcuts and whatnot, but he's explained why he's done all that. He's destined to, prove a point. It made me feel like it made me feel like The Miz, basically, in some ways. Well, instead, I haven't taken shortcuts, to get to where I want to be. No. A guy that people didn't ever look on, a story he told, a guy people didn't look on him be like that much at all. And of course, he was only trying to do what he did this whole time to get the respect from the fans and respect from his father, the people that he definitely wants to impress the most. And then he has great work. Like no doubt about it. You've seen it, especially the past 2 years. Miz is an amazing worker for sure. And his work ethic alone is what got him the respect that he deserves. And to me, it worked so good. And of course, just trash on Shane McMahon, for being a McMahon, basically, thinking they can do whatever they want to do. It works. So, I gotta give it here. I became a bigger Miz fan tonight. And I'm feeling more confident about the Miz. I mean, in the ring, he's got to show me, though, he can still do it as a babyface. As he can do it as a babyface, too. On the microphone, though, he knocked it out of the park tonight for sure. Like, this was a really, really great heartfelt promo to get the Miz over as a babyface for sure. I don't know, like, the long-term plan for him, but I think he'll be all right. Just got to see him in the ring, of course, too, but I think Miz is off to a great start as a babyface. And this promo was pretty good. So we'll see what happens next week between Shane O'Mac and The Miz himself. That's how we opened up SmackDown, though. We then had the Boston Hug Connection making their first appearance on SmackDown Live. And, of course, when they came out and they mocked the announcers mocked Michael Cole the way they say, "It's boss time." And I was just like, oh, boy. Just for once, I didn't even realize this whenever, Sasha came out on NXT recently. I didn't notice that. Like, you know what? That's right. Michael Cole's not here. He's not saying, "It's boss time." And also, I didn't take notice, but Ali Byron Saxton also did say, "The wacky inflatable Bailey Buddies," or whatever the heck he used to say. It was just, just so awful when he was over on Raw. Just like, don't bring my memory, but it was just refreshing and different. But they came over, obviously, because, the Iconics were calling them out. And then out came the Iconics. Billy Kay saying, starts talking, the champs have arrived, and then Peyton says that they look scared and small in their ring. They call them out of their comfort zone and mock them for going back to NXT and getting chased off of Raw, leaving them with no choice to come to SmackDown and face the best team in the division in unfamiliar territory. So when this match was announced, I swore I thought this was an open, like a tag title match. I swore the titles were on the line. Match was what it was, nothing too special, but to my before I get to the ending, at one point in the match, who came out? The rumors now that the match at WrestleMania with Asuka and Lacey Evans are off, then why is she still doing this? She didn't do it on SmackDown last week. She didn't do it on Raw last night, but she does it again here. Why? I don't know. But eventually, it leads to a combo finisher from the outside of Peyton Royce hitting a folding press on Peyton Royce did a folding press on Sasha Banks, and Billy Kay held down one of Sasha's arms on the outside of the ring, and they pinned the Boston Hug Connection. And at first I thought, I swore I heard them say that the tag titles were on the line, but they weren't. But I guess that's going to be the Iconics' way of earning themselves a tag title match at WrestleMania. So I guess we are getting the fatal four-way match that, I saw coming since Fastlane, I got to say. So I guess we're going to be getting Boston Hug Connection, Natty and Beth, the Iconics, and Sergeant Slaughterhouse. No, the Samoan Slaughterhouse, Tamina, and Nia Jax. So, all right, fine me, whatever. Speaking of, matches for WrestleMania, backstage, we have Rey Mysterio being interviewed about his WrestleMania plans. He then reintroduces us to his son, Dominic, who probably the last time we saw him was with his feud with Eddie Guerrero, but Dominic comes in and who's a lot taller than Rey now. He says he pinned Samoa Joe last week. So because of that, he's going to wrestle him for the U.S. title WrestleMania. Then Dominic says he's going to watch his dad do what he does best, take care of bullies and bring another championship home. So we're getting Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. I mean, it could be a good match. I don't know. I guess I was expecting something better. I mean, I'm not saying that Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio cannot be a good match. It's just not exactly what I had in mind. I thought maybe they would give it to Mustafa Ali since, he's not going to be getting this WWE title match now at WrestleMania. And also, see, he kind of has some unfinished business with Joe, it feels like. But I also was hoping that Rey Mysterio would have faced Andrade at WrestleMania. So I guess they're not going to give Andrade a big WrestleMania match this year. Wait till next year. So probably this is Rey Mysterio winning the U.S. title. And then probably, you know, within the next month or so, he'll probably drop it to Andrade. Just my opinion. I mean, I'd like to see Samoa Joe get a longer title reign with this, but I think Rey's going to beat Joe, and then he'll drop it to Andrade. Just what I think. I'm not sure how Dominic's going to get involved. They're going to keep that involved in some way. I mean, you know, it's Samoa Joe. After his feud with him and AJ Styles, I think we're going to get, something with Dominic being involved in this also. So, all right. But on the bright side, though, if the rumors are true now, apparently that the whole thing with Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin at WrestleMania is a swerve, maybe we will get John Cena showing up at WrestleMania to be his opponent. I mean, they may wait until WrestleMania though, and Cena shows up as a surprise to be Angle's opponent. We could get that nostalgia act that we've been asking for. So this is a good thing for sure, but I guess I kind of expect something just a little bit better for the U.S. title. But this is just still be a good match for sure. Then we had the return of the Kevin Owens show. New graphics and everything. Owens comes out wearing some red tie also, which looks kind of goofy on him. He says this year, there's no denying WrestleMania is all about Kofi Kingston. Tonight we see if he can keep that momentum going, and rest assured, he'll be watching that match very closely. But another match that has everyone buzzing is the one his guests are in tonight. He introduces them, of course, which are Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Owens welcomes her and says nobody knows better that he does know how friendships sometimes go wrong. No one can get under your skin like a former best friend. Things have been said back and forth over the past few months, and he reads some choice quotes they said. Of course, he skipped over one saying that's too much. But then he tells them though that they've talked a lot, and nobody really wants to see them talk anymore. This is the Kevin Owens show, and what does he always say? Fight, Owens, fight. But that's not it. Tonight, it's fight, Becky, fight, and fight, Charlotte, fight. They stand up, and then Owens basically just implies I'm getting the hell out of here. And then Charlotte says she'll beat the holy hell out of Becky. And then Becky just slaps Charlotte with a right hand. And then they start to brawl all over the ring, and referees break them up. And Charlotte and Becky were taking out the referees. This was what it was. I don't know. I guess it's because, I'm still looking forward to this triple threat match. Don't get me wrong, but again, they're just made this whole thing just so much more complicated. And there's the fact also that, again, Becky has beaten Charlotte how many times already? I feel like they've had great matches, but it's run its course right now, I feel. Like I didn't feel this segment really didn't, introduce anything new, I felt. Just my opinion. It was what it was. I mean, it was entertaining, but the women just brawled again. I'm just like, it's getting to a point now where it's like, some feuds, especially this match, I'm just like, okay, I don't really need to see any more until WrestleMania. So this was what it was. It was all right. Backstage, we're going to see AJ Styles being interviewed, saying he thinks Randy Orton has advantages most of them haven't had, being a third-generation superstar and of impressive proportions. AJ would even say he's great, but the difference between them is Orton's first-round draft pick, and he's a walk-on. But look at them now. At WrestleMania, they'll face off. Randy may have said this was his house, which sounds like another advantage. But Styles isn't coming to build. He's coming to tear the house down because he is the phenomenal AJ Styles. And before he leaves, he also wishes Kofi Kingston good luck tonight. And I loved how throughout this show, all the baby faces were showing their support for Kofi. You know, if there's any time you want to really, you know, put over, you know, people in the back with them, like this was the prime time to do it, of course, tonight. I'm pretty sure at some point Vince would have loved to have done this with Roman Reigns. You know, he probably had tried it a few times, but it did not work, of course, back then. But this worked so well. Giving a moment for Kofi, you know, so much more better, I felt, in my opinion. But anyway, so before we get to the gauntlet match, though, Daniel Bryan came out with, of course, Rowan. And he says that Kofi Kingston being in the gauntlet match tonight is an injustice because he doesn't deserve the opportunity. He knows better than anyone what it's like being held down by the authority. But that's not what Kofi's going through. Kofi was chosen to replace Mustafa Ali before the Elimination Chamber. Handpicked from the tag team division and given an opportunity he never earned. He fought valiantly, but both times he lost and Kofi has earned nothing. Kofi, unlike Bryan, is nothing more than a B-plus player. And that's okay to us because B-plus is good enough. New Day should put on a shirt, but B-plus is not good enough. And no matter how much you chant Kofi, Kofi, he's going to lose because he lost and then he lost again. So the next, of course, is the gauntlet match. But before we do that, let's get to the live chat and see what we've got. We got Crazy Cool Guy. Oh my God, this is so stupid. Vince McMahon sucks, and putting Daniel Bryan in the gauntlet match made me so mad, and also having him lose made me so mad that I almost cried. I am done with Vince. Which would be worse, watching Crown Jewel again or have Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble again? Well, I did watch Crown Jewel, so I'd say the Royal Rumble 2015. This is why Triple H needs to be in charge. Vince sucks. For sure he does. And the 5 times Becky has beaten Charlotte. Which, yeah, again, that's why, again, I was kind of hoping they would have had like something different for Fastlane. Like, again, even though I'm not a fan of her, have Becky Lynch take on Nia Jax. Because Nia Jax is the one who caused the knee injury and caused this whole ruckus, basically. That's why I keep saying also, like, you know, I can't get behind the fact they were trying to say that Becky Lynch was faking a knee injury. Becky is not faking the knee injury. Becky was never, even that promo that Triple H cut saying that Becky Lynch was trying to get out of the WrestleMania match. Becky was not, that is so false. Like, again, this whole thing started because this ruckus started when Nia Jax injured Becky's knee at the Royal Rumble. They could have played along with that for sure. But again, McMahon's had to get involved, made it way too complicated. All they had to do was have Becky Lynch. Yes, you know, she could have faced, you know, Charlotte at Elimination Chamber. Charlotte could have beaten Becky, okay, to get into the match, as we all knew she was going to. But have Becky earn that spot back by defeating the woman who put her in this mess in the first place, Nia Jax, at Fastlane. Even though it probably wouldn't have been that great of a match, it would have been a little more fresh to me, in my opinion. It would have given, you know, Becky some good babyface momentum for sure. Instead, of course, they made the storyline just much more complicated than it needs to be. But yeah, because again, she's just being sure how many times. But thank you for your comment, of course, in the live chat. Let's talk about this gauntlet match. So the first one up for Kofi was Sheamus. This is probably the second longest portion of the gauntlet match. I'm surprised. They gave a lot of time to Kofi and Sheamus. I thought they'd give him a little more long time, maybe with guys like, you know, Samoa Joe or Cesaro, but gave it for Kofi and Sheamus. Okay. So good back and forth action. Cesaro tried getting involved a few times, but it did not work. Sheamus, of course, you know, put Kofi in a lot of, you know, submissions. He missed a Trouble in Paradise. Sheamus caught Kofi, and then of course, a really big knee strike that Sheamus won for 1 point that really like folded Kofi in half. He goes for the bro kick, but then Kofi catches Sheamus in a folding press and then hits Trouble in Paradise and eliminates Sheamus first. Cesaro gets right in and just does an uppercut to Kofi's back. Again, just working on the legs of Kofi, trying to wear him down, but it was not enough as Kofi would then pin Cesaro with an SOS. Then up next was Rowan, who when Rowan and Bryan first teamed up again, for some reason, Rowan came out to his old Sheep Herder theme music. But then this week, he came out to his Bludgeon Brothers theme music. Okay, a little inconsistent, but all right. And again, I gotta still admit, I'm actually kind of digging Rowan in this role he's got with Daniel Bryan. At first, I thought this was stupid when they first threw him with Bryan at the Royal Rumble, but so far, gotta say not too bad. I definitely think this has been the best I've seen Rowan for sure in his career so far. I wonder what's going to happen, of course, whenever Luke Harper returns, what's going to happen with them, but we'll have to wait and see. But Rowan came in, and this portion didn't really last too long, as it was obvious that Rowan was only out there doing, like, the physical beating to, like, have Kofi hurt enough that he could not continue on with this match. Because he just, dumped Kofi out of the ring like a freight train, basically beat him down. And then he starts hitting him with a steel chair, and Rowan gets disqualified. But then he puts Kofi into a bear hug and just, chokes the wind out of him, basically. And then he hits the iron claw on Kofi through the announce desk while the monitors were still on the table. Ouch. And then out, of course, comes Samoa Joe, the U.S. champion. We go to commercial break, but I thought the best thing to do is have Samoa Joe come out and just start putting the coquina clutch on Kofi until he passes out. He'll easily, move on there. But nope. We had some back and forth action, though, with them. And though eventually, though, towards the end, Samoa Joe does set for, we haven't seen it since NXT, but the Muscle Buster. We haven't seen it since NXT. He did still use it, though, after when he performed it on Tyson Kidd in 2015. That was the move that ended Tyson Kidd's career. We haven't seen Joe perform it since. He's teased it a couple times, but he hasn't performed. But he went for the Muscle Buster, but instead, Kofi gets down, gets Joe in a folding press to beat Joe. Afterwards, Joe chokes out Kofi Kingston on the ropes with the coquina clutch. And of course, out last came Randy Orton with like 20 to 25 minutes left in the show. I'm like, perfect. This is the last one that Kofi needs to get through. And the story fit there too, with, the history that Orton and Kofi had back from 2009, both in real life and, on screen also. And it's fit for Kofi to get past Randy, of course, to get to WrestleMania, his moment at WrestleMania. And when this match started, I tweeted out this idea. Have Randy Orton hit an RKO on Kofi, call him stupid, just like he did back in 2009, and Kofi kicks out. I'm like, do that. It will be a moment, it will be a near fall that people will be talking about for ages to come. But then, after another random commercial break, Orton went for the DDT, connects. He gets raised up for the RKO. But then Kofi dragged himself to the ropes, and he countered with a folding press. And the way he pinned Orton, it looked like Orton's shoulders may have been up, but apparently they were not. Because that's how Kofi pinned Orton. I'm like, oh, there's still like 8 minutes left in the show. Maybe this is like, a little abrupt. So then I'm like, okay, Vince is definitely coming out at some point. And also, I gotta say, I also liked how during this gauntlet match, which I liked it. Well, at this point, I liked it, but I still felt the one he had before Chamber was better, I felt. I guess since, the results were a little bit more predictable this time, I felt. I don't know, but it was still a great gauntlet match up until this point. Afterwards, Xavier and Big E come out and celebrate. And, of course, backstage, Big E and Xavier were back there with, Kofi, with the Usos sharing pancakes. We saw most of the NXT call-ups, Heavy Machinery, R-Truth, EC3, I think we saw one time. Nikki Cross sitting there looking so tiny, like, just being freaking psycho, but it was funny. Everybody was watching backstage, even with Mustafa Ali. Like, all watching backstage, giving Kofi the support. I'm like, this feels special. This feels very special. And when Vince came out, I thought at first he was going to say Randy's shoulders were up. Restart this match. Or what I also thought was going to happen. Well, let me get to what happens. Vince comes out and says he wants to say what's on everyone's mind, and as congratulations, Kofi. What he's done is miraculous, and he is going to WrestleMania. And as long as he can defeat one last opponent, and you're like, who's the opponent going to be? Who's this going to be? He then bans Xavier Woods and Big E. But then I thought, what if these rumors speculating that Big E is eventually going to turn heel and he will feud with Kofi at WrestleMania? I'm like, what if this is the start? What if, Vince McMahon breaks Kofi's heart right here, having, revealed that Big E, bought into, his conspiracy theories and whatnot or something like that. And that's how he turns heel and breaks Kofi's heart on the road to WrestleMania. No, instead, he brings out Daniel Bryan and has Kofi Kingston fight Daniel Bryan. And I'm like, it's, me. I am the hugest Daniel Bryan fan. One of the biggest ones you could ever talk to. This was probably the first time Daniel Bryan ever came out and I felt disappointed. I'm just like, you're having him actually face the champion. And in order for him to get to WrestleMania, you have to pin the champion again, even though he has pinned Daniel Bryan twice already. Once in the gauntlet match, the original gauntlet match for Chamber, and then the other one time was in that tag match when he at first was given the title opportunity for Fastlane, then got that taken away from him just because Vince felt like it. So I'm just like, why? It felt kind of pointless, but Kofi went in there, threw his heart and soul in again, tried to defeat Daniel Bryan. But then to his surprise, Daniel Bryan beats Kofi Kingston. Daniel Bryan went as far as doing the yes chant when he was lining up Kofi to get him out of the title picture. And of course, when he's chanting yes, the crowd's going no. And Daniel Bryan beat Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston is not going to WrestleMania as far as it looks. You had to, of course, run in, and Bryan runs off, and that's the show. So Vince McMahon, you bastard, you son of a bitch. You screwed Kofi again. Now, here's the thing, though. Why am I not ranting? Well, again, the problem my thing is this is SmackDown. I want to see what happens next week. Because Kofi did win the gauntlet match. He just had to face one more guy, which ends up being the champion. So, with this being SmackDown, if this was Raw, I would definitely for sure feel Kofi Mania is done. Kofi Kingston's not getting that title opportunity. But I really feel this is SmackDown. There's going to be something more to this next week. And I feel Kofi Kingston is still going to get that moment at WrestleMania. Whether or not, he puts his career on the line or, whether, he sacrificed having to fight, his own brothers from the New Day in a 2-on-1 handicap match, or I don't know, whatever shenanigans Vince is going to come up with, Kofi Kingston, I still believe, will get that moment at WrestleMania. With that being said, though, I wish it was someone else besides Daniel Bryan, though. I mean, I get it. Kofi's pinned Daniel twice already. And again, the gauntlet match and in a tag match recently. I get it. They wanted to give Bryan a little more momentum and make, the match at WrestleMania be a little more unpredictable. Even though it still kind of would be predictable if Bryan and Kofi do happen, which it will happen still. I believe it still will happen. Because you can believe that. I just want wish it would have been someone different besides Bryan, though. Like, that's the head scratcher. Like, him beating Orton, like, with a little more of, of an exciting finish, I felt would have been the right route to go. But, I don't know. But I still have hope. I do have faith that this story is not over. Kofi Kingston will get his WrestleMania moment. In my honest opinion, though, I'm going to pull out there tonight, though, about this also. As much as I'm still excited for the triple threat women's match for Becky to get her WrestleMania moment, that she definitely deserves. And you know what? If these three women made the WrestleMania, cool with me. Honestly, though, the one who really deserves a main event more, though, is Kofi Kingston. I really think his WrestleMania moment will be tough to top off. That's just my opinion, though. But that's it, guys. Let me check the polls, then the live chat before we go off the air here. What grade would you give SmackDown Live? 12 votes, 25% said A, 17% said B, 17% said C, and 41% said D or lower. A lot of people, of course, are probably happy because, Kofi did not win. Again, this was Raw. I'd be unhappy, too. I wouldn't like the show at all. But I feel like something will happen next week. So, again, I've not lost hope. But, Vince, you still suck. And what shows you on Wednesday? Raw or SmackDown Live? 15 votes. 27% say Raw. 73% say SmackDown Live. Definitely SmackDown is a better show. And I'm going to go ahead and give SmackDown a B+ tonight. Again, it could have been a little bit better. Stuff in between, the Miz promo and the Gauntlet match was okay, was what it was. And again, of course, the finish, obviously, was heartbreaking. But again, as I keep saying, this is SmackDown. I really don't think Kofi's out of this yet. So we'll see what happens next week. But I will get to the live chat and see what happens. What's funny is that Daniel Bryan is right about all of this vegan stuff, which, he's got a point. But once again, not everyone's health freaks, though. Which I'm not making fun of Daniel Bryan, of course. Also, the ads were so bad. So every 5 minutes, there was 3 minutes of ads, of commercials. Yeah, for sure. And we got Tyler Hodder saying SmackDown is stupid, and he's not happy with Vince, Daniel Bryan, and the WWE. Which, I wouldn't blame fans for feeling this way. But let's get it. This was Raw. I'd definitely be saying the same exact stuff. But this is SmackDown. I really think there's something more to this. So, and much as I say this, but this is one of the rare times on the main roster, I'm not afraid to get my hopes up and see what happens next week. As I still believe that some way Kofi Kingston will be getting his WrestleMania moment still, in my opinion. Mark gave SmackDown a D also. That's fine. I gave it a B+ though. Miz promo was great. Stuff in between that and the Gauntlet match was all right. The Gauntlet match though was good. Ending was heartbreaking. But that's my thoughts on SmackDown Live tonight, guys. I will maybe be up here live again in a little bit to do my 205 Live review. Tomorrow I'll be live for NXT UK and NXT also tomorrow as well, for sure. Make sure to also check out, my video Let's Plays of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and Adam Project. I'm almost done also with my baseball players from this past, season that retired. After I finish those there, I'm just going to take a break from doing those videos for a while and just get all the stats for all the players done first, because just doing it season by season is taking way too damn long, and that way I don't have to feel like I have to get things done faster. With that, I can spread those videos out over time. But that's it for that, guys. Again, I thank you all for joining me live once again. Again, B+ for SmackDown Live, and I enjoyed SmackDown more than Raw this week. And of course, we are 19 days now from WrestleMania 35. Still can't wait to go, even though rumor of it being 8 hours long and 17 matches. We'll see how that goes, though. So excited for WrestleMania. Looking forward to going. Again, section 126, row 23, seat number 4. That's where I'm sitting this year for WrestleMania at MetLife Stadium with my good friend Daniel Gaiza, and should have a good time. So, guys, once again, what are your thoughts on SmackDown Live this week? Do you think Kofi Mania is dead? Do you think it's still alive? There's still a chance? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below as always, and be sure to click my like and subscribe or comment on my channel. You may follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirBody3. That, guys, I'll see you guys all next time for my live review of 205 Live. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.